Well, jeepers. Anyway, I finished the rods, man. Now it's time to tackle this thing neat. I have got a jigger pour. I've got a full ounce and a half in here. It looks very dark in the bottle, and a lot of whiskeys do, and then you pour them in, not so much. This is a very dark whiskey. As you can see, very dark bourbon. Again, it is 60.7 ABV. I picked this up at Lukas Wine and Spirits. I can't remember if I bought this one on the Missouri side or the Kansas side, to be honest with you. Because I went to both, man. Anyway, Keenan Cabernet barrel finished straight bourbon whiskey. Rich toffee on the nose. Again, differentiating between that and caramel, I feel like the toffee aroma and flavor is a little deeper, a little more rich, decadent, even nutty. And here I do feel some nutty components, almost hazelnut-like notes here. Vanilla, a lot of vanilla spice is sort of on the side here, but you do feel some oak and spice. You also get some varied fruit notes, I'm guessing probably added from that Cabernet. Cabernet barrel, I should say. Oh my lord, that's tasty. I do remember I went to a tasting about a month ago or so, Macadoodles. They had us taste several, or four I should say, I was going to say several, but four different J. Rieger products, Kansas City whiskey, not the bourbon here, but the Kansas City whiskey. Three various proofs. One was the cask strength. And I did notice at the time how amazingly drinkable it was at a higher proof. And now that I'm sitting with this bourbon, I see that was the J. Rieger Kansas City whiskey, not the bourbon. Here I'm drinking their bourbon. And even at 121 proof, I mean, damn. No face, man. It's not hard to drink. I know certain types of whiskey drinkers hate when you use the word smooth. And I think they only hate it because it's typically applied to bourbon and Irish whiskey. And drinkers of that particular whiskey are too snobby to drink either of those. But yeah, I think you have to use that word here. It is smooth. And I think when a bourbon drinker uses the word smooth, I'll speak for myself, I suppose, all we mean is that it's just easy to drink. It's not harsh, it goes down easier than a Tijuana hooker. I mentioned some fruit notes when I was drinking on the rocks, but here, well, I was going to say the fruit notes are elevated, but here, neat, every note is elevated. I get a lot of cherry. Where I got some dark cherry there, here I get a lot of cherry in a great big way. A lot of dark cherry. I'm also going to, there I mentioned I was getting some apricot, but here I feel more of a very dark, overripe plum. The spice notes, a lot of spice notes there in the finish. Again, for me, it's a combination of cinnamon, allspice. You might find some clove and nutmeg, depending on what you feel. I've said that I've been in various social media groups where people want to correct somebody for well, you shouldn't get that. You should get this. Here's the problem with that line of thinking is that you can only taste what you know. So when someone says, well, I taste this, well, that's the flavors they know. You can't possibly pick out a flavor that you're not familiar with. I've heard things described as persimmon. Okay, it's persimmon. I would describe it as something else because I've never ate a damn persimmon. I'm not going to know what that tastes like, so I'm obviously not going to describe a note as persimmon. So as I say that, the point of saying that is I'm a big spice guy. I do most of the cooking for my wife and I. All she does primarily all the baking. I do most of the meals, and I love to use a lot of spices, herbs and spices. So I think for me that's why I feel like I'm picking out certain spices where others may not. But then others are more familiar with those fruit notes that I mentioned earlier that are going to pick those out that I will not. So when I say a cinnamon, I feel like I'm getting cinnamon. I feel like I'm getting allspice, nutmeg, clove. But if you're not familiar with those spices, you're not going to interpret it that way, I guess is what I'm trying to say. In a very clumsy way. That's kind of what I do, man. What I really find brilliant about this whiskey, even on the rocks, is the mouthfeel, the texture. It is very pleasant. It feels like it is the texture that it should be. It's very velvety. It is. It's just amazing from top to bottom, in my particular opinion. I'm wishing right now I'd have bought 2 bottles. There's a couple whiskeys. So one whiskey, there's two whiskeys that I had tried before we left. So I did buy a second bottle of those because I knew the first one, the first of each were going to go quickly. But I didn't pop this one till now. I saved it for 2 months before opening it. But now, yeah, because we're on vacation, I do wish I'd have bought 2 bottles and had another one just sit for maybe a year or so. I know it's not going to age, but just so I knew it was there in the cabinet. You know what I'm saying? It's just the idea, man. I can buy J. Rieger Kansas City whiskey here, but I can't get this private stock bourbon, and I really wish I could because I would buy it again. Wow, it is pretty damn amazing. After having some on the rocks, it is good on the rocks. And at this much proof, I don't think rocks is going to hurt it. However, the flavors and aromas that I get neat are so exquisite, I will probably go through most of the rest of this bottle neat. I may get clever and try to make at least one Manhattan out of it. Just because I can, man. But yeah, I think most of this bottle is going to go down neat. After today, I will probably have one more drink out of this bottle today. I just popped it, poured the basically 3 ounces of 1.5 in each, and I may have one more drink later. But after that, I'm going to tuck it away and not look at it again until Christmas. So anyway, I digress. If you ever visit the Kansas City area, yes. I can't necessarily recommend visiting the distillery, although I'm sure it's awesome. I say that only because I haven't been there. But what I can recommend is any J. Rieger product that you find. Their vodka is incredible. I don't like gin very well, and I love their gin. I found it to be a very spicy gin. Any product that I've ever had from this company has been absolutely incredible, and I couldn't recommend it more highly. That's all I got. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer. And I say that not as a paid spokesman. I bought this damn bottle. This isn't a commercial. I'm giving you an honest opinion, y'all. I haven't been bought and paid for like some folks out there. You know who you are. I don't need to mention your name. But yes, gosh, I do wish I could have got to their distillery, but we just had so much other things going on. And my wife had let me we got to a lot of things Saturday for me that I just needed Sunday to be about her. Because so often it's about me. Anyway, I was trying to spread the love a little bit. I love the finish on this. You get that again. You get those spice notes, that oak that really cleans up and dries all that great intense sweetness you got through this. Anyway, I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, pervert wisdom man. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. All around good guy. Cheers, y'all.